keep the people in Kentucky on the flood victims in your prayers. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Jackie, will you please call the roll?
Yes. Mayor Evans,
Here.
Vice Mayor Parrish,
Here.
Mr. Velardo, Mr. Price,
Here.
Mr. Thompson,
Here.
Ms. Cooper,
Here.
Ms. Chamberlain.
Here. Do I have a motion to excuse Mr. Velardo?
So moved. Second.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
All right, first thing on our agenda, one of our favorite things to do, Chief Mills is going to swear in a new police officer. And family, you can sneak up in front and take pictures if you'd like to.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Council. So I'm pleased to introduce our newest officer. Technical difficulties. Joey Matson. Joey grew up in Reading and graduated from Moeller High School in 2015. He went on to attend Ohio University, where he earned a Bachelor of Business Administration degree with a focus in management and strategic leadership. After graduation, Joey went to work at a pharmaceutical company for 4 years, rising to the position of operations supervisor, before making the decision to pursue a career in policing. He attended the Great Oaks Police Academy, where he earned his basic training certificate in 2024. Joey is joined tonight by his parents, Tom and Ann, his brothers, Zach and Jake, his sisters-in-law, Maeve and Kaylee, his uncle, Mike, who I just found could not make it, but his Aunt Sue and Aunt Mary, and last but not least, niece and nephew, Leah and Luke. I would be remiss if I didn't point out that Aunt Sue retired from law enforcement with a distinguished career and is one of my mentors. So this is an honor for me tonight. A career in public safety requires serious commitment from both the officer as well as their families, so I'm glad to see that Joseph has a strong support system. Tonight is the culmination of a months-long process. The selection process has many aspects. There's a reason for that. We are very selective about who we let wear the uniform and badge of a Milford police officer. Tonight, Joey, you officially earn the right to wear our badge and are officially indoctrinated as a member of the Milford Police Department, a family with a heritage that extends back to the 1800s. The first police badges were a coat of arms worn by knights. The coat of arms identified the knight and his allegiance to justice, chivalry, and his royal leaders. Police officers swear to protect and serve, the same as knights from the medieval era were often sworn in and asked to protect the weak, defenseless, helpless, and fight for the general welfare of all. Tonight, the badge is shiny and new. Over the years, it will acquire scratches and scuffs, but it's your responsibility to ensure that it remains untarnished. For when an officer tarnishes his or her badge, they tarnish the badge of every officer, including those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice. In addition to our oath of office, which I administered this morning, every Milford police officer is required to take the IACP's oath of honor. It's now time for you to take that solemn pledge with me. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. On my honor.
On my honor,
I will never betray my badge,
I will never betray my badge,
my integrity, my character,
my integrity, my character,
or the public trust.
or the public trust.
I will treat all individuals with dignity and respect,
I will treat all individuals with dignity and respect,
and ensure that my actions are dedicated
and ensure that my actions are dedicated
to ensuring the safety of my community
to ensuring the safety of my community
and the preservation of human life.
and the preservation of human life.
I will always have the courage to hold myself
I will always have the courage to hold myself
and others accountable for our actions.
and others accountable for our actions.
I will always uphold the Constitution,
I will always uphold the Constitution,
my community, and the agency I serve.
my community, and the agency I serve.
Thank you. It's now my pleasure to present you with the Milford Police Badge. The badge is to be worn over the heart for 2 reasons. First, to ever remind you of your pledge to protect. And secondly, because the left arm was the arm that often held the shield protecting the heart and leaving the dominant hand to fight with a weapon. Remember, the name on your badge represents who you serve. The name on your nameplate represents who raised you. It's your responsibility to represent both with honor and integrity. Joey has chosen to have his father, Tom, pin his badge. Mr. Mattson, feel free to get a good angle. Well done. Yes, sir. Next, I'd like to present you with our challenge coin. There are various origins of challenge coins. Some say that it dates back to the Roman Empire. Others credit a young fighter pilot from the First World War. For us, it's a symbol of honor and a constant reminder that we are doing something worthwhile. On the front, it proudly displays the core values that every officer is committed to living by. On the back, you'll find our motto, am I doing the right thing at the right time, in the right way, and for the right reason? You are to carry your coin with you at all times and are permitted in certain situations to give it to a citizen who exemplifies our core values. In closing, remember that I too have stood where you stand in front of family, friends, members of the Milford Police Department, city council members, and the residents of our community. As I swore tonight, you feel the same immense pride, honor, and sense of accomplishment, as well as the awesome responsibility that is bestowed upon you. This is my challenge to you. Every time you place that badge on your chest for the rest of your career, I hope you'll reflect on the feelings you have tonight and remember one of my favorite quotes. If you do this job properly, there is nothing nobler you will do with your life. Congratulations and welcome to the team.
I just wanted to thank you for this opportunity, and I'll hope I can make every single one of you proud.
Thank you for choosing Milford.
Yes,
We're
thank
happy
you.
you're here.
And family, please help yourself to the cookies out here in the hallway.
Thank you so much for being here.
And you can go celebrate. You don't have to stay for the rest of the boring meeting.
You'll miss out, though. These cookies aren't worth that. I think this suit is older than him being in high school.
Yeah. My sister-in-law is one of my best friends, my daughter's best friends, not underneath.
Oh, cool. You said 15, right, from high school?
I
2015
didn't hear what you
graduate. Yeah,
said.
didn't say 15 in high school?
Wow.
Yeah, tell me about it.
He's Benjamin's age. What are you talking about?
That's true. Good point. Are you 15 high school graduate too?
3.
When did you graduate high school?
Okay.
That's amazing.
We will move forward with proceedings. Do I have a motion to approve the council meeting proceedings from February 4th, 2025?
So moved.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Sorry. You're allowed to say
fine.
yes if you read it, as long as you read it.
As long as you read them, you can. Yeah, you don't have to. Yeah.
All right, that takes us to financial statements. Do I have a motion to receive the January 2025 financial report?
So moved. Second.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes. That takes us to public comments. Is there anyone from the public that would like to make a comment? All right, seeing none, that takes us to committee reports, which we don't have any committee reports. So that takes us to city manager report.
Thank you, Mayor. Provided in your packet is the city manager's report. I just wanted to highlight a few things, and then I can answer any questions. Last week, I believe, we released another episode of Office Hours with the city manager to discuss the 100-day plan. I met with a constituent in the downtown regarding traffic and safety concerns. The city is going to explore putting up flashing light beacons on the corners of Main and Elm Street to help with traffic crossing. So in the downtown area, that is the only intersection with no lights. So to bring more awareness to pedestrians crossing, we felt this is a good avenue to explore. So more to come on that. I would also like to point out that the city has been officially approved as a tree city and has received the Growth Award. The city of Milford has been recognized for our commitment to creating a greener and healthier community with our 20th Tree City USA designation through the Arbor Day Foundation. The city is among a select group of cities that has earned the Growth Award for going above and beyond the 4 standards of Tree City USA. And this is also the second time that Milford has received the Growth Award. So I'd like a shout out to Shannon in the back, as well as our tree commission and everyone else that played a huge role in that. So that's exciting news for us, and I wanted to bring a special attention to that. The demolition for the old bank building is set to begin on March 3rd. During the demolition, some of the parking spots will be fenced off to help facilitate some of the demolition efforts. So we appreciate everyone's patience as we work through that process. And although a few of the parking spots will be temporarily out of commission, they will be back in commission once those efforts are completed. So I just wanted to bring awareness to that. The Water Department Supervisor position has been posted, and the first round review will be on March 3rd. We've been in contact with a few people, so we're hopeful that we're going to get another strong leader or a strong leader in that department. Lastly, I just wanted to remind council that next Wednesday through Friday, I will be at the OCMA, Ohio City Manager Association's annual conference in Columbus. So I will, of course, be available by phone and email, but wanted to ensure that council was aware of that. So unless there's any questions, that is all I have.
All right, anybody? All right, that takes us to Chief Mills and the police report.
You should have my January report, but some highlights include all sworn members started the AED and CPR online and practical training provided by the Milford Community Fire Department. You may recall in December we were awarded 3 AEDs from the Cincinnati Rotary, so we now have those on patrol with us. Sworn members received roll call training on our new rapid rack chamber flag system that was installed on all patrol rifles, and all members completed our annual bias-based policing policy test. Offenses, 27 auto accidents, issued 162 citations and 124 warnings. Some administrative items: an area resident donated an AR-15 to the department. The Day Heights Firefighters Memorial Association has informed us that they are going to donate funds to help us purchase a drone, some new fitness equipment, and 2 ballistic shields. Officer Heather Mason, as you may recall, resigned her position as a police officer. That's why we hired Joey Matson to fill her spot. Detective Lane has been working extensively on the homeless encampment down at Terrell Park and making a lot of progress. I'm pleased to report. We collaborated with City Administration, Zoning, and the Milford Community Fire Department to help resolve the overflowing dumpsters at the Oakwood Apartments. Sergeant Chastain investigated an informal complaint on an officer, and Officers Ferguson and Newmeyer received their quarterly evaluations. That concludes my report, unless there are any questions.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
That takes us to District Chief Nickel on Fire and EMS.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Just have a couple things. First off, the Claremont County Fire Investigation Team is doing their annual seminar this week. We're having a Jeff Weiler Automotive on the Parkway, so we'd like to thank them for, hosting us for this. And there's over 100 fire investigators from 3 different states there, so it's a big deal. It's a 2-day thing. So a lot of good information being brought out. As you well know, we had several inches of rain over the weekend, causing the Little Miami River to flood. So we received a call. There were some stranded folks, 2 adults and a dog. So we were dispatched to that, and with the help of Anderson Township Fire and Rescue, Loveland Sims Fire Department, and the Milford Police, they were removed from their stranded area and with no injuries. So That's good news reporting. So I don't know what happened to their places of, their tents they were living in, but they were removed from the water. And last thing is, Monday night, February 24th at 6, we are going to be promoting a lieutenant. The promotional process is complete, so we are going to be having that at 6 o'clock at the firehouse. That's all I've got.
All right, thank you very much. All right, that takes us to our committee of the whole meeting. Do I have a motion to open the committee of a whole meeting?
So moved. Second.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes. We don't need to call the roll. Do we still need to call the roll? Okay, we call the roll, Jackie, please.
I'm sorry. Ms. Evans?
Yes, here.
Mr. Parrish?
Here.
Mr. Price?
Here.
Mr. Thompson?
Here.
Ms. Cooper?
Here.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Here. All right, and I will turn it over. Uh-oh.
She's nursing a pickleball injury. While she makes her way up, I will at least discuss the, well, I'll just wait for the finance director.
Okay.
So if you would just describe the two ordinances that you're going to ask the law director to prepare.
Sure. I don't have the packet. First one is, which one, the front
For the JED, CIC,
Okay.
yep.
Actually, can you give me a minute to fire up here?
Yes.
I didn't know this was,
So surface level explanation. Fraunfelter does an excellent job assisting us with preparing the needed documents for the JEDs as well as the CIC. Due to this being above the spending limit of the city manager, we need to ensure that we pass an ordinance to allow us to contractually engage with Fraunfelter. This is something that I know the finance department values in terms of his expertise, and he does a good job compiling all the financial statements and all of the necessary documents that need to be completed on a yearly basis.
I forget, is this a 2-year? Okay.
11,000 for the,
Oh, there it
11,000
is.
for the
11,
finance
yes.
for us, 2,200 for the JEDs, and 500 for the 550 for the CIC. And that's 2 years.
almost there.
Does anybody have questions so far while she's pulling that up?
It's, yeah, this
Yeah.
is in the budget
Yeah.
and what we planned anyway, correct? Or about.
And, well, yeah.
So for the Fraunfelder contract, Sean Fraunfelder is the sole owner, so it's one person. He has prepared the city's financial statements for 15 years, along with the JED.
Speak into the microphone, please. I'm
Sure.
sorry.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So Sean, Fraunfelder Accounting Services has prepared the city's financial statements for 15 with JED and CIC financials. Mr. Fraunfelder converts cash basis accounting to GAAP, generally accepted accounting principles, which incorporates accruals, fixed assets, tax incentives, footnotes, pension disclosures. He has graciously maintained the same pricing for 4 years, despite the growing complexities of GASB standards and increased activity in the city's newest JEDs, 5, 6, 7, and soon to be 8. He also consistently completes the financials well under budget. So for 22 and 23, the total price was $13,750 per year. 11,000 of that going to the city of Milford, 2,200 to the JEDs, 550 to the CIC. 2022, that was the pricing 2023, and now he has said he'll do 24 and 25 at the same price. So that's very generous. He's really good. He's great to work with. He's a CPA. And that's all I have on that.
Great. Yeah.
So we're recommending?
Yes.
So we're making a recommendation authorizing the law director to prepare an ordinance authorizing a contract with Fraunfelter Accounting Services to prepare the 2024 and 2025 basic financial statements for the City of Milford Joint Economic Development Districts, JED, and Community Improvement Corporation, CIC, at an annual cost of $11,000 each year for the city, $2,200 each year for the JEDs, and $550 each year for the CIC.
Second.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Okay, so the next ordinance deals with the first amended appropriations and transfers for fiscal year 2025. As you might recall, we last year at the end of the year. This is, and then we close all P and we look at what needs to be allocated back. It just kind of cuts down on unnecessary budget items. So we have done that. The total changes to the budget, sounds like a lot, $1,321,129, which brings the budget up to almost $30 million, $29,902,229. You know, a lot of this could be transfers, projects, but it's pretty amazing compared to when I started 7 years ago, and I think the budget was maybe 7,000, 8,000, million. So we provided a list of items, and you can see that most of the items are reallocations for funds for ongoing projects and expenses. Very few of them are new additions. We're constantly evolving, and there's a lot of momentum, and that shows up in these appropriations. So you can see in red on the list, those are the few new items. One that looks like a high amount is about in the middle for Parks, 204,000. Parks Fund 204. The amount is 275,000, which is new, and that's basically because Mr. Gunderson had talked about, trying to get all that 400,000 grant money in this year rather than wait till next year. We'd already allocated 125,000 for irrigation, and this is the remaining 275 that we're just setting up the appropriation in case we do get the money in. It's a in and out, so 400 in and 400 out. It's not an added expense to the budget. We also have the Elizabeth Street house fire in Fund 210, estimated to be 60,000 for demolition, of which insurance is estimated to pay 50,000, and our portion would be 10. And then the rate study, 30,000 is new, and I just split that up amongst the utilities. Everything else is a reappropriation that you've approved in prior years.
And if I may, a slight clarification. As it relates to that 10,000, the reason why we're paying that was because the fire department deemed it needed to be torn down. So we simply had to tear it down for safety reasons. So we didn't have the ability to contact the insurance company and seek their so we are going to eat that 10,000 up front, but then we'll bill the insurance company thereafter. So I just want to clarify that, but that is of course above my spending limit, which is why it's here. Thank you.
Any questions for Ms. Wortham? Anyone prepared to make a motion?
Yeah, I'd make a recommendation authorizing the law director to prepare an ordinance amending appropriations ordinance 2024-317, increasing the individual items as listed on the attached chart totaling $1,321,129.
Second.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes. All right, thank you, Ms. Wortham.
Thank you. Next item is the Parks and Recreation Commission bylaws. Fortunately, we have had quite a few members from the community that have expressed interest in joining the Parks and Rec Committee. And for that reason, our bylaws currently limit the amount of people that are allowed on the committee. So what we are proposing in your packet is the highlighted, there's 3 bullet points. So what we are suggesting is that we do at a minimum 5 members, 1 being on council, 4 being residents. And that way we're not capping the amount of residents that are on the committee, because we think it's extremely important to have as many as possible. Sure. But also ensuring that we're not moving the number up too high where at some point we fall below that and then we're not adequately, I don't want to say staffed, but we're not adequately staffed. So that is our recommendation, is to adjust that up to at a minimum 5, 1 being a council representative, 4 being from the community, but also pointing out it's at a minimum, so we can't have more than 5. So if we have 10, great. If we have 5, great. But that was just a change that we are suggesting so we can keep moving in the right direction with more ideas and more people that are passionate about the parks.
I would make a recommendation authorizing the law director to draft an ordinance amending ordinance 23-220, the rules and procedures for the Parks and Recreation Commission as detailed in the highlighted attachment in the packet.
Second.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Chambers? Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Thank you. And lastly, one last item. This is simply just for discussion. As we've been working through some of our rates, evaluating our rates and some of our operations, it has come to our attention that we are undercharging for our water meter. So if, for example, I build a home within the city and I need a water meter, that way we can assess, the proper water amount in terms of the water bill. We have been charging around $100 less than what our actual cost is. So this is something that we need to reevaluate. And what I plan on bringing to the next meeting is, I'll discuss this again, but within the packet itself, you'll see an email from Taryn that discusses what our actual cost is right now, or what we charge, which is $428.48. And then you'll keep going down to what it actually costs us. It says old cost to city, and it says 2025 costs for purchase, and our meters are the ones on the left, which is $543.74. So that is simply just for the 5/8 meters, which are residential meters. So as you can see, we're taking a significant, about $100 hit in terms of cost versus what we receive in revenue. So we're going to reevaluate that, and we'll provide something to council next meeting. So I just wanted to bring council in the loop on that, and if there's any questions, I can certainly answer. Otherwise, we'll just plan on discussing this again next meeting.
Any questions? Okay,
Thank you.
that's it.
That's it.
All right, do I have a motion to close the committee of the whole meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Right, that takes us back to our regular meeting and new business, and Mr. Pacheco.
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance number 25-339, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to contract with Fraunfelter Accounting Services to prepare basic financial statements for the city, for the JEDs, and for the CIC. They are therefore be ordained by the Council of the Municipality of Milford, Ohio, Section 1. The Council of the City of Milford hereby authorizes the city manager to enter into a contract with Fraunfelter Accounting Services to prepare 2024 and 2025 financial statements for the city, totaling $11,000 for each year, for the JEDs totaling $2,200 for each year, and for the CIC totaling $550 for each year. The terms and conditions of the contract are attached and incorporated herein by reference in their entirety under and in accordance with Section 12.03 of the Milford City Charter.
Section 2, under and in accordance with Sections 12.05 and 12.07 of the Milford City Charter. This ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its passage by City Council.
Motion to suspend the rules and read by title only?
Second.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ordinance number 25-339, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to contract with Fraunfelter Accounting Services to prepare basic financial statements for the city, for the JEDs, and for the CIC.
Motion to adopt?
Second.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ordinance number 25-340, an ordinance amending appropriation ordinance 2024-317. Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the Municipality of Milford, Ohio, Section 1. The Council of the City of Milford hereby authorizes the City Finance Director to amend the individual items as set forth and listed on the chart attached hereto and fully incorporated herein as provided in Section 12.03 of the Milford City Charter. Said amendments total $1,321,129. Section 2, under and in accordance with Sections 11.05 and 12.05 of the Milford City Charter, this ordinance requires only one reading and shall become effective immediately upon its passage by City Council.
Motion to adopt?
Second.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Ordinance number 25-341, an ordinance amending the rules and procedures for the Park and Recreation Commission. Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the City of Milford, Ohio, Section 1. The Park and Recreation Commission of the City of Milford is established by the Charter of the Municipality, Section 6.09. The Park and Recreation Commission is authorized to exercise such power and authority as may be conferred upon it through the Charter, city ordinances, and the Ohio Revised Code. Section 2. The City Council of the City of Milford hereby amends Ordinance 23-220 Rules and Procedures for the Park and Recreation Commission and adopts the revised rules and procedures as set forth in the attachment to this ordinance. Sections 12.05 and 12.07 of the Milford City Charter, this ordinance shall be effective immediately upon its passage by City Council.
Motion to suspend the rules and read by title only?
Second.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ordinance number 25-341, an ordinance amending the rules and procedures for the Park and Recreation Commission.
Motion to adopt?
Second.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Mayor, it's my understanding that we have some of the members here to be sworn in.
Yes.
All right.
We love recruiting new people. So if new members of the Parks and Rec would join Mr. Pacheco at the podium, he will swear you in. After he does that, we'll tell you what you're signing up for.
There's no turning back now.
Jalen, you can come up here if you need to.
I'd love to see so many new members at one time.
I, Lisa McKinney. I, Dion Combs. I, Amy Herman.
Promise and swear
Promise and swear
to support the Constitution of the United States of America,
to support the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Charter of the City of Milford,
and the Charter of the City of Milford,
and to faithfully, honestly, and impartially
discharge the duties of Parks and Recreation member
to the best of my abilities. So help me God.
Thank you so much for being willing to volunteer.
thank you,
and
guys.
Serve
Thank
the
you.
city. Yes,
Love
we're
to see
excited.
so many new members at one time.
I know, it's exciting.
And there's one more, too. He
Oh,
just
wow.
wasn't able to make
All
it.
right.
Very happy to have him.
Yes, thank you. All right, do we have any other old business or any other announcements? Council comments? Anything to announce? All right, then do I have a motion to adjourn?
Mayor Evans?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo? Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Thank you. If any students need a picture or something signed to say you were here, we can do that. Thanks, come on up.